recorded. Ayan, so there is already a status in here mentioning you're recorded and you have to inform the participants. Okay, so I will start this session with a reminder that um, after this session around 11 in the morning, I'll be posting Let's Check. So it's a multiple type question, and then it will be available until Thursday night. So you can take it within those um, time, Wednesday and Thursday. And then by Friday, as what you know, it is our first grading lecture exam. So the exam will start 8:30 and will end um, 9:30 because it is 1 hour only. But it will be available from 8:30 to 10. So you need to join MS Team so that you can take the exam. And please upload your permit in the permit approval section. I have approved already 2 submissions. And I am checking now. 6 of 47 submitted their permits. Okay, so kindly upload your permit, or if you do not have permit, any proof of payment. Okay, you can just take a picture. So I look at the date when you do your payments. Sige. So that's going to be my announcement. Sige, so we'll start now ULO 2. So ULO 2, this is the start of PHP. Okay. So we will start with defining PHP. So initially, the meaning of PHP is personal homepage, but later it is the meaning becomes its recursive name, which is PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. So it is, of course, a programming language. It is open source and it allows web developers to create dynamic content that interacts with databases. So databases like Postgre, Oracle, Sybase, Informex, and MS SQL Server, and of course we must not forget MySQL or MySQL. So ako, in my experience creating program in PHP, I have embedded my PHP program in my Android application. So its job is just to retrieve record set from from a very large database. No? So pareha ba yung sa student portal nyo, in which you can check for your schedule, you can check for your balances, payment history, grades, TOR, so things like that. So, yan yung ginawa ko before. So, it's nice that PHP can really interact with databases. So, when you are going to create or PHP has these 5 characteristics, no? Simplicity, efficiency, security, flexibility, and um, the last one is familiarity. Okay, so of course we will start with simplicity. So because PHP provides a lot of mga predefined functions to secure your data, so it also is compatible with many mga third-party application, and PHP can easily integrate with other applications, just like what I have mentioned a while ago, no? Yung nag-create ako ng Android application, I embed my PHP program to that to that Android application. So in PHP script, there is no need to include libraries. Kaya di ba, kung mag-program ka in Java, di ba you are going to import packages. Okay, so here you do not have to do that one. So PHP, whenever you are going to create a program, it will start with that angular brackets, less than, question mark, PHP, and question mark, greater than, no? So that's the angular brackets that denotes, that's the start of your PHP code. Okay, so that is about PHP being simple and familiar, because if you are going to look at a PHP program, it is like, it looks like other programming languages, just like C. No, dili siya lisod i-understand because it looks like the other programming languages that you have worked already. Okay, so all you have to do is just, to, example, if you know Java, so imo na lang siyang i-ano, how you're going to program it if it is already in PHP. So of course, there are differences, especially in declaring a variable, okay, things like that. So its syntax, it is inherited from the programming language C or Pascal, and Java, di ba? Mura ra gyapon na siya og C. So that's why it's really familiar. Now, it is also efficient because starting PHP 4, it introduced already resource allocation mechanisms and more pronounced support for OOP. So you can do OOP here in PHP. And it is secured because there are several trusted data encryption options that are supported in PHP's predefined function sets. So you can use a lot of third-party applications to secure the data. So that because of that, that will allow for securing your application. And PHP is flexible because, as what I have mentioned a while ago, it could be embedded in other applications. So like HTML, JavaScript, XML, and many others. So you can run your PHP script in device like mobile phones, tabs, laptops, PCs, and other PC and other devices, because the PHP script execute on the server side. So what's good is PHP is free because PHP is open source. So you can download freely PHP. So there is no need to buy or to purchase it. Okay? So, 'di ba? I let you download some in PHP and Friends website. Okay, so that is the characteristic of PHP. So if you are going to look at the sample program that is shown in the sim, you can see here that PHP is being embedded in the HTML. Okay, so this one. So it's simply display an output statement. Hello, programming librarians. So it is in the body of an HTML. So if you would like that your web application will behave in a certain way, so all you have to do is just to embed your PHP code. So the applications of PHP performs system functions from file handling. So you can do file writer, file reader, so that it can open, create, or you can do CRUD using file management or file handling. So of course, PHP can handle forms so that you can gather input or data from the user, and then you can save it to a file or save it to the database, no? So in the same way, PHP can return the requested data through the form. So you can add, delete, modify, and do transactions And all this could be written in your database through PHP. So PHP also can allow you to access cookies, variables, and set cookies. And using PHP, of course, you can restrict users to access pages which they are only allowed. Okay, this is very important, especially if you are going to create web applications. There are really users which do not have the right to access a certain page. So there are mga tawag dyan, mga user rights. Okay? So if you are admin, of course, you are a super user. There are a lot of things that you can do with the web applications. And if you are just an ordinary user, of course, your rights are limited only to how you are being defined by the application. So this is a um, this is what you need so that you can create a PHP program. But we have this one already when we had our introduction to HTML. So the web server, the database, the PHP browser, you need them, and they are all in some which could be downloaded. And of course, you have downloaded it already in apache-friends.org. So you need them so that you can run your program, so that your web applications can interact with your database, and so that your PHP scripts could be parsed so that it will be generated as an HTML, and because of that, that will be ready to be sent to the web browser so that user can see and interact with your web application. Okay, so here we have the basic PHP syntax, no? So it starts as what I have mentioned with this one. So less than question mark PHP, and then this is the ending question mark greater than. So in between these angular brackets, so of course this is where you are going to write your PHP code. So how the component or the interface elements will behave, what will be displayed. You are going to define it within the angular bracket of PHP. Of course, if you are new to a programming language, ayan, kita mo talaga yan, si Hello World. So this one, if you are going to run this in the browser, this simply displays Hello World. And by the way, if you are going to encode this one in Atom or in Notepad or any IDE that you have in there that you are using, you have to save this one with .php as your file extension. And of course, when you run this one in the browser, you have to include also .php. Example, if you are going to display to save this one in htdocs, no, and you have IT9L folder. So when you run it, it will be localhost, tapos IT9L slash or IT315L folder, tapos slash activity1.php. Ay, gasigig tingog, makadisturbo lagi ni siyang tingog, no? Saan naman po ni ihang gitingog dire? Tingog siya. Ihan tingog plus no kay murag ka ng kuan. Murag alien. Sige. So, if you are going to graphically visualize the operation trail of PHP, so there is this browser, of course, and then the browser will find the page because diba, you specified there in the browser the location kung asa nimo makita si PHP file, example si hello PHP, and then it will be processed, and if there is if Hello PHP needs to interact with the database, then it will contact to the database and returns the result set, and it will be outputted as an HTML, or it will be returned as an HTML, which is displayed in the browser. Okay, so that's why you need the web server, because that is where to retrieve the PHP file. So you have to take note that PHP is true, it is case sensitive. PHP is false, that it is case sensitive. True because all user-defined functions, classes, and keywords, just like what is mentioned here, yung mga commands ni PHP, they are case insensitive. No, so you can write them in uppercase, in title case, or in all lowercase. But the variables in PHP are case sensitive class. So dili siya case sensitive to keywords, classes, and user defined functions. But the variables, it is case sensitive. So take note of that. So PHP actually, it has data types. Starting PHP 7, you can specify the data type, but it is also optional because pwede rin when you are going to create a variable, pwede rin that you are not going to specify its data type. But if so that you will not be confused as to what is the data type of the variable, of course, you can also specify may gaon og microphone yata katong mga bag-ong nagsulod sa room, kindly turn it off. Unsa ba nang nag-on og mic? Ayan, napalong na. Ay, palong na. Wait, para di ta makadungog. Si, kinsa ba na? Anong naka-on hold ni si Risa Pikiro? Meeting guest. Naa ba si Risa? Naka-on hold kasi siya dire. Oh, sorry ha, madisturbo ta sa tong discussion because of ano. Sige, balik ta. So I said that in PHP, you can optionally specify a data type. So the data type naman of PHP is the same with the other programming languages, no, na may string siya, may integers, may floating points, tapos may booleans, saka may null values and var-dump. Okay? So whenever you are going to create a variable in PHP, ito yung wag mong kalimutan. You have to prefix it with a dollar symbol. So ako sa una, I created a program at the same time in Java and PHP. So siguro mas dominant in my brain programming in Java. So that's why when I will be in PHP, there are times that I will really forget prefixing it with a dollar symbol. But anyway, as you debug, of course, you can realize nga you forgot to prefix it with a dollar symbol. So the dollar symbol followed by a letter or underscore. So you can contain letters, numbers. So the same naming convention aside from the dollar symbol with how you write a variable in other programming language. So the same, there should be no spaces. So if it's two words, if you could not avoid it, that your variable name is two words, you have to put an underscore. And take note, as what I have mentioned, it is case sensitive. So these are an example of a valid variable names in PHP. Okay. So take note again that it is case sensitive. So all lowercase item is of course different if you write it in title case and of course in uppercase. Okay. So you can also write underscore after the dollar symbol. As long as it is not a number. So $3 product is an error. So this is how you are going to assign a value to a variable in PHP. So notice class, there is no data type in here. Automatic na siya, no? So I mentioned a while ago, optionally, you can do or you can specify the data type. Okay, but if you do not, then it's fine. So PHP has constants also. So you know already that constants are these variable whose value does not change in its lifetime, no. So a valid constant name starts with a letter or underscore. So you do not have to specify the dollar symbol for constant. Okay, and it is not case sensitive. So unlike variable names. So constants are automatically global across the entire script. So it is a global variable. So arithmetic operators here in PHP, it is not strange to you because it's just the same with other programming languages that you have worked with. Okay? So if you are going to do some arithmetic operations, ang nagbago lang dito class is the dollar symbol. So you can have example, $A equal to $X plus $Y. Okay? So I guess I don't have to explain this further. Kay all you have to do here is just to translate from the other programming language, and I'm sure it's Java, to PHP. So assignment operators, pareho lang din to other programming language. So equal, plus equal, minus equal, asterisk equal, and so on. So, ito naman here, string concatenator. So, of course, you need string concatenator if you are going to put together strings or values. So, here in PHP, kailangan mo you need to use the dot operator or the dot equal operator. Okay? So, here, if you are going to put together txt1 and txt2 values. So all you have to do is just like this one, $txt2 equal to $txt1 dot. So that here, this is not used to reference, but this is used to concatenate or to put together hello and world with a space, of course. Okay. So if you are going to run this in the browser, it will display hello world. And also you can use this one, that equal. So mura gi-update lang nimo si class, si txt1 from the previous value, and then ito yung new value niya. It's just updating the value of txt1. So this could be done using period equal. So for comparison operator, the same, double equal. No, so if you are looking for the equality of the values, example of two variables, so you can do this one. So if x equal to y, so meaning to say you are checking if it is true that x is really equal to y, the value of x is really equal to y. And then if you use three equal symbols, so this means identical. So not equal, not double equal, meaning to say not identical, greater than, less than, greater than equal, less than equal. Okay, so these are the comparison operators in PHP. Of course, you know, you have created many programs already, and I know how important it is to learn about operators in a programming language, especially if you are new with the programming language. Okay. So actually in the sim that I am using now, the next topic is the get and the post method. I'll just check if this is the sim that I have uploaded. I think this is not uploaded in IT9L. I'll just download a new one plus yung nasa ano nyo, yung nasa LMS. Kasi in the LMS, fast track ni siya, yung sa IT9L, I'll just download it. I just forgot where I put the .doc of this one. And by the way, class, I am not the author of the sim. It's written by Novna Mater, no? And actually, this is for revision. That's why I omitted some of the lines. Kasi yung coverage niya pang 4 weeks, no? Hindi pang week 1. So, di niya na-trim yung ano, yung content. Wait, naapa ba ko, class? Hindi naman ako mo makita.
Nawala lang ang imong unsa ma'am, presentation.
Wala ang presentation. So, wait. I will be shifting to another sim. Katong pareha sa inyong sim. By the way, do you have questions with the yung present ko a while ago? My presentation earlier. So, ano yung impression nyo sa PHP? Is it difficult to learn or okay lang kasi pare-pareho rin sa Java? Familiar to you how to write them? Is it familiar to you how to write PHP?
Yes.
Yes, no? Madali lang. Siguro mamaya, as I will be demonstrating how is it if it's embedded in a form. So I will demonstrate it mamaya. Siguro doon banda medyo you can see the difference na. But anyway, after I have discussed yung sa basic ones, mag-demo man ako with how to write basic PHP. So I'll just finish presenting the sim so that it will not be difficult for me to switch from one screen to another. Wait ha, open ko muna yung nandito. Sige, so I'll share it again. Ayun. Ito yata yan. So what do you have there? Is it kuan ka ng example code for validating form data with PHP? Tama ba? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Sorry ha, I need to get reply from you kasi baka iba yung na-share ko because as what I have said, iba yung style ni MS Teams sa presentation. Okay, so now, ito na yung dimension ko about the forms. Of course, we need methods like get and then post. Especially if our program it has buttons no nga. If we click on the button, something happens. You are going to define what will happen if you're going to click. Okay, so we have the get and the post. So this method the form, the post, and then the get method, it produces a long string that appears in your server logs in the browser's address box. So that's why this is considered as not secured, because you can see the values in the browser. So because of that, it is restricted up to 2,000 characters only. Okay, so if you're going to use it, $_get followed by the variable. So yung variable na yan, this is an example, no? So here, nagiging PHP na siya from the HTML form. So actually, in the sample that I'll be presenting later, it's not it's not in this form, because ito kasi siya, this sample, it's using a function already. So I do not recommend this kind of presentation, especially if you are a beginner. So I'll be giving you another sample later, yung wala pa munang function. Okay? So kani siya una na siya function, tapos si function is being invoked here sa ano, sa post. So si post naman, the difference is that does not have any restriction on the data size to be sent. So that's nice about post. Tapos it doesn't show the server log in the browser's address box. So that's why it is considered as more secured compared to the post, to the compared to the get method. Okay, so that's the difference of the two. And then, so later, it'll just go back to this one, ha. So, dili nga ani atong sample sa PHP later with the form. But I'll show this one later to you. Okay, so let's proceed to selection statements in PHP. So, of course, you know that a program has kanang programming logic, sequence, selection, and iteration. So, sequence, of course, is the basic one. The lines of codes in your program are executed from top to bottom, and there is no decision that is being made or iteration compared with selection and repetition. Okay, so when you're going to create a program where using selection logic, of course, there is it involves conditional statements, and these statements, of course, you know that this already, the if statement, the if else statement, and the if else statement. So of course, if it is an if statement, so it's just composed of one statement. So this is an example of an if statement. So this program, if you are going to run this in PHP, it simply outputs have a nice weekend. But if the day is not Friday, just like if we are going to run this today, it's actually making use of the date predefined function by PHP. So kanina, it's being mentioned that in PHP, you don't have to import packages, no? Automatically, you can use mga predefined functions. So just like this one, I am making use, or the user of the, or the author of the sim, I mean, is making use of the date function with d as the parameter. So it simply checks if the current day of the week is Friday. So if D is equal to Fri, then it will output have a nice weekend. So if i-run nato ni siya sa browser karon, di man Friday karon, di ba? So meaning to say, this block of code here, this will not be executed. So nothing will be displayed. And then we have also if-else statement. If the condition, the same rule class, no, you are going to put open and close curly braces to denote the coverage of your conditional statements. And if you are going to make your condition also compound, you are going to use operators, the logical operators, the double ampersand, the or operators, and then the not operators. So this is if else naman. So this is an example. So this one. Okay. So if you are going to run this program today, actually I will code this one later. The output is have a nice day because today is Wednesday. So this is composed of more than two selection statements. Okay. So if D is Friday, have a nice day. If it's Sunday, have a nice Sunday. So if we will run this in the browser, it will just say have a nice weekend because today is Wednesday. If we're going to run this tomorrow, it will output have a nice weekend because it's not Sunday, it's not Friday, it's not what is specified here in the conditional statements. Okay, so that is how you are going to write conditional statements in PHP. So you see, this simply affirms, this sample that I have here, simply affirms yung gidiscuss ko kanina na characteristic ni OOP, which is it is simple and it is familiar, right? Because it's just similar with other programming languages, especially with Java and C. Okay? So, ang nagbago lang dito, class, is ito yung opening ng ni PHP, no? Tapos, ito, variable. Kasi you prefix it with a dollar symbol. So, siguro, when you are going to start running your PHP program, very, very possible that you will forget the dollar symbol in your variable. Okay? So you see class, you don't have to declare them. Pero kung mag-discuss na tag functions class, especially if what we will be doing is calculations, we will do, we are going to specify the data type of the variable already. Okay? So optionally, you can do writing conditional statements this way. But ako, um, I do not do writing this in PHP because kung i-translate man guna ako akong Java knowledge to PHP, this is not how I do programming in Java. So ning ano ko dito sa PHP sa PHP characteristic nga familiarity, no? Katong is katong translation from what I know in other programming languages, katong gamay lang gyud kaayo iyang difference dito ko ni ano. So I suggest that you do writing conditional statements this way. Okay, so of course you know that when you are going to create a program in other programming languages, kung selection, kung nana si if else, of course we anticipate after that one there is what we call switch. Okay, so this is how you are going to write switch. So ano yung di nyo familiar dito sa switch? Is there a difference from Java if you are going to look at the structure of switch in PHP from switch in Java? Do you see any difference?
Wala, ma'am.
Wala, no? Kaya nga, kaya kung IT ka, di good lisod actually mag-discuss o kung IT ang audience in my end as a teacher, it's not really actually difficult to discuss PHP kay audience will just like translate it to from Java to PHP. So this is an example class. Okay? So ang nagbago lang talaga dito is the dollar symbol, no? From dollar symbol dito sa variable. Pero pag iano na natin to, kasi 'di ba ang sinabi ko sa inyo before, kalayo ba sa assignment value equal to PHP. Layo kay sa class O. Anyway, doesn't matter. Ang nagbago lang dito class is mag-forms tayo, no? Though this one, if you are like learning the concept, no, you run this. So ang mahitabuan ni is predefined man yung value ni fave subject PHP. So when you run this one, isa lang yung output niya, your favorite programming language is PHP. So if you are going to replace this with other subject, if like Java, so ang mangyayari niyan, you have to touch your program, you have to edit your program and change the initial value of fab subject or fave subject with Java. So kaya sinabi ko sa inyo before during the introduction that dito talaga we really have to use forms para yung magiging program natin will be flexible and more interactive. And if we're going to test our program, we don't have to go back to our code, change it so that we can test it with another value. Okay? Kaya yung next talaga dito is the form handling. So what you can see here, this is just an HTML code, and actually this one is incomplete because this HTML code, this is calling the registration underscore form.php. So meaning to say, when the user types in first name, last name, and clicks register button, so kasi meron dito here form action, it calls registration underscore form.php. So kung ano yung magiging action dito after clicking the register button, it is defined in the registration.php. So it's not actually included in the same the body of registration .php, but in my demo later I am including it. Okay, so I am including it, but I will be having two demo for this one. So the first is with embedding in the PHP program the HTML, and the other one similar with what you see in the sim, calling another PHP program. So, yan. So, yung gidiscuss ko kanina, class, about the post and then about the get method, ito na yun siya, class, no? This is the reason why pag sinabi mo na post method, walang limit yung length of the values because these values are not visible in the URL. Ang ibig sabihin nito, class, is this one, class. When you run your PHP program, tapos yung method niya is post, it will appear in the browser this way. So yung makita lang niya is the HTTP. Ito lang yung makita niya. Okay? Ito yung name ng form. But if it is get method class, yan. You can see kung ano yung nagiging parameter niya, no? So, here, so yung value ni first name, value ni last name. So, that's why this one, it is a limit number of characters because of this one. And because of this, that makes it, that makes it unsecured. Okay? So, that makes it get us unsecured. So, ito yung mga sinabi dito, yung the difference between the get and then the post method. So only is that the post method, it has the lower performance compared to the get method due to the time spent encapsulating the PHP post values in the HTTP body. So kasi it will read your HTTP body. Unlike here sa sa get method, um, it's just appending the values in the URL. Okay. So actually, way back many years ago, when I was starting to program in Android, I do not know if you can figure out what I'll be saying. There was an instance there that I had the difficulty on how I can make it that from Android application, doon siya mag-input ng value from the Android application, tapos the values will be retrieved from the database, no, from PHP. Actually, the reason why I learned it, it's because of the get method, no, kasi makita kasi doon sa get method kung ano yung mga values that are being retrieved. From that I learned. So from that, nakapasa ko sa akong MSIT because yan yung gi-showcase ko na new knowledge sa aking MSIT, how I integrated my Android application with my web application. So this one, the get method, malaking utang na loob ko sa get method. Ito yung gi-showcase ko doon sa MSIT ko. Kasi yung yung many years ago, more than a decade, uh, my the program that I was developing, yung dimension ko, interfacing Android applications and web applications, parang gi-merge ko silang dalawa. So back then, it was new. Okay? So this one, this is actually an example of integrating an HTML and PHP program. So here, the forms in HTML, or the form here is written in HTML. When the user clicks the submit button, what to do with users input here, what to do with users interaction with the forms, what will happen after the user click submit. Here, it is being defined by PHP. So kung ano yung gi-input dito sa forms, it will be echoed here, it will be displayed here. So etong part na to, this is the job of PHP. Okay? So that you can understand what I am saying here in the sim, I will now, o diba, na ay participation among dog. I will now demonstrate to you how to program in PHP. Okay, so I'll just give you 5 minutes bio break, water break. So as I prepare my samples, so pahilumon sa ako ang among dogpot. Okay, so 5 minutes break class. We will be back 9:12.
Hen, eh, kaldereta yung arrow hen.
Pa-turn off po ng mic. Okay, we will now resume. Can you what can you see in my screen? Naka-entire screen. MS Teams, no? Yung nakita?
Wala.
Ha?
Wala ko makita sa kuwang.
This one.
Yes, ma'am, na
All right.
atom.
Sige po.
Na
Thank you.
naman.
Sige, thank you. So this one, I have here a sample program. So here, I have, so yung gidiscuss ko kanina, when you create a program in PHP, so less than, question mark, tapos PHP, okay? And then here, what our PHP code simply do is it assign 10 to the variable num and 8 to the variable num1. And then here we have the formula num3 is equal to num minus num1. So simply, this is used to just subtract values from the variable. So ito yung ginagawa ng PHP natin, no? So here so that my output of my program will be more organized. So that's why I put the result in a table. So this one, I have here a one column table with TH and TD. So kung makita ninyo siya class O, di ba, dire sa ako ang TD in the second column in the row, I displayed num3. So since process man ni siya class, that's the reason why I embedded here a PHP program. So yung ana siya class, if you are going to embed your PHP code with your HTML na tags. Okay? So, yan. PHP, tapos echo, TD, tapos $num3. So kung ano yung magiging value ni 10 minus 8, which is 2, that will be displayed here in the second column in the table. Okay? So, if I will run this one, week 3, plus calculate at PHP. Okay, so muna siya class, muna siya result. Okay, so this is the table that I created with one row and two columns, no? So para ma-output nimo tong value nga gi-process ni PHP, you have to embed it to your HTML program. Any question? So ito siya ha, wala pa tong forms ka. Mo pa ni akong giingon nga predefined value. Any question?
Wala, ma'am.
Wala. Okay, so all right, thank you. So let's proceed to the second sample. All right. If you are going to use conditional, this is not conditional statement, but this is using a form. So this is for age calculator. So this part here, ito yung PHP code, no? Ito yung PHP code wherein it's making use of the post. So saan siya gikan og value, no? Asan niya gikan ang value? Okay? So first here, meron tayong form. Okay? So this is the content of our form. It has table, tapos dito sa table, nangayo siya input for birth year. Okay? And then a button for submit. Okay? So when the user will click on the submit button, okay, so the job of our PHP code is it will calculate the age. So pag abot diri sa PHP class, so that the value from your HTML program, from the value from the form, which is birth year, ito siya. So di ba may input type, gidiscuss naman ni siya class, no? Gidiscuss naman nato ni siya before. So here we have here an input type, text, tapos the name of the variable is year. Okay? So para mapasa na to ang value from our form year, yan. So we have to do this one class. Okay? We need to assign it to our PHP variable, which is year. Okay? So post year, it goes to year. So year here is a PHP variable already. Tapos age equal to. So pwede na ka makagawa ng formula dito, class. Okay? Kasi na-assign na yung value nga gi-input mo from your form to a PHP variable. Okay? So that you can display the value of age here dito sa column ng table. So eto siya, class, you have to take note, class, nga whenever you are going to get a value processed by PHP, so ang mangyayari niyan, class, is you have to put yung angular brackets ni PHP. Okay? So through this code, yung PHP value ng age, okay, na output siya, class. So that is how you are going to put together forms and your PHP code. So with this, if the user will input a new value, we don't have to touch our PHP code, unlike the previous one a while ago. Ito siya, no? Nag-i-assign na to ang value daan. Here naman, the difference is the value is entered in the form. So whenever we are going to input another birth year, input another value, we don't have to touch our program. Okay, so let me run this one. For example, 1983. So you click 1983 and submit. So okay, so the age has now been being calculated. So if you are going to input another example 2010, click submit. Okay, ayan. So that's why I said before, it's really better if mag-test tayo ng concept ng PHP, you have to do it in a form. Otherwise, there is no actually other way. If mag-test ka ng concept mo tapos wala ka gamit og form, so mahitabo you keep on editing your script para lang to test your concept. Okay, so this is integrating form and PHP. a form, using form in a PHP program. Question, class? So I guess there's none kay mingaw man kaayo. I'll proceed with the next sample. So yung sinabi ko kanina, this one. So yung sinabi ko kanina, yung sample ni Sim, no? Ang ginawa kasi ni Sim doon is there was a form tapos it calls another PHP program, but then I said the Sim did not include the body of the PHP program. Okay, and then si Sim also was making use of a function, so di siya nagmatch to the object, especially kung beginner, no? So we'll have function later on, actually, after we have discussed about loops. So here I have the PHP program. It's called form get welcome. So user will just type the name and the email. So most likely, if the web application that you are creating involves registration, of course you need the name and the email address um, of the user. Okay, so here naalang siya form, no? Tapos inputs are in text. Tapos there is a button called submit. So this you know already. And then it's calling sa form action niya class, it's calling form get.php. The method is post. So here, ibutlang lang nimo within the same folder, or otherwise you're going to specify the location. The PHP program. So this one. So this is the body of the PHP program. Okay. So it simply says here, it simply echoes what you entered from form get welcome. Okay. So running this, okay, submit. So welcome, and then this one. Okay, so that is how you are going to call a PHP program from another PHP program. And then I also have created another one. So if this sample, it integrates or it calls one PHP program, so this one naman, it's putting together the one that I have just shown a while ago, no? So kung imong tanahon dire, yung form action is PHP self lang. Okay? Because you are just within the same PHP program. Okay? So here, it's not calling any other program. Ayan. Okay? So that is the different ways on how you are going to write PHP program. So it's either you are going to call another PHP program, or you can just write them together. So if you are a beginner, you can do this. Actually, calling it or integrating them, if we're writing a basic PHP program, it's just fine. Do you have any question, class?
Ma'am, i-post naman yung kwan, ma'am.
Yes po. Na-post na ako right last week yung yung mga sample programs ko.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so i-post po na ako ni siya class all this and actually many more. I will also include yung sa but I don't know if you still need it. But I have sample programs for if not if else kinanamtay if else no sa switch din if you need it.
Maki-post pa rin yung kuhan kaning video, ma'am.
Recorded? Yes
Or
po.
recorded video.
Yes po. Pero karon bitaw class, naka-data ko karon ha. I do not know kung naramdaman nyo kung hinay akong internet connection. Kay nami problema sa among fiber connection. So, dugay man ang globe mo action no libako nato sila. 'Di ba kung mawala tong net no, dugay kanila balik no, nay usahay. Dugay sila mo respond. So, I will upload this one kung mabalik na mo ang kuan ha kasi naka-data ko karon no. So, kung i-download na ko ni siya, i-upload so it will eat my data. So, kung mabalik na to siya, probably mamayang hapon mabalik. Ako siyang i-upload ha.
Yes, ma'am.
Sige, so what's your impression to PHP? Easy to learn ba? Tama ba yung sinabi niya kanina? Yung sa simplicity, familiarity, are all those check?
Tama, flexible po.
Oh, flexible po, no? Kasi, di ba, so actually class, yung gishare ko sa inyo kanina, yung about may utang na loob to PHP, the get method, totoo yun siya class. No? So if I did not discover that one, long time ago kasi yun siya class. So of course, ngayon, di na siya bago. Okay. So that was in year 2011, 2013. No, nung nag-propose ako doon. So, here, if you are a programmer, of course, you are going to learn from observations. Many are learned through observations and integrations. Sige, so do you have question? It's 9:34 already in my watch. And do not forget, class, that this topic, this is part of your first lecture exam. So 50 items and it is multiple type. So pag sinabi natin multiple type class, may multiple choice, may short answer. Yung short answer, you know already short answer, right? It's like identification. Pero ang type doon class is, I'll be doing a screenshot to a PHP code or to an HTML code. Tapos, you are going to write the output of the program. Okay? That is your short answer. Pananglitan, kani si calculate.php. Siyempre, kwaon ako ng mga border dire, no? Para ang imuhang ihatag nga output sa ako is without border. It's difficult if with border, of course. So, ang imuhang ihatag nga, i-supply nga answer is the output if we are going to run it in the browser. Okay? So, things like that. So, most likely, mga PHP code ang identifying or writing the output for the short answer. So, most likely, pag short answer, tapos tracing the output, yung ani ihang dating class ha. So, pwede i-omit lang na ako ng mga table. So, what I'm saying is, yung ani ang dating, I will pre-assign a value. So, pwede siya switch statement, pwede if-else statement, yung ana. So wala na taga ingon ani nga discussion class ha nga grabe jud kay ka basic kay you are IT so kaning ani nga mga discussion this is for kasi ang other subjects manggod nga ako nga handle nga web application mga LIS. So sa ilaha of course very detailed yung discussion no kasi it's their first time to have a programming subject. Okay, so sa inyo ha, IT man mo no, so pwede ra na to ma-shortcut ang mga discussions. Okay. So if you don't have questions, I will open our LMS and then, naka-open naman yung kanina, saan man yun? Please, may let's check pala kayo ha, in a little while I will post, andito pala siya oh. Gi-activate kasi na ako ng 11. So, mag-stop na ako ng recording class para di na ma-appeal sa recording yung attendance checking.